What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another retail gold guide. Now, in today's video, we're going to once again look at a gold farm that you can do easily solo. And this is in like a mini series of mine where I focus on the collectibles. And when you've put in enough hours farming collectibles and you have a big auction house, you should also see really big returns. It is my personal main way of getting gold through collectibles. So, of course, this farm and every other way to fill up your auction house is going to be listed in the 0 to 10 million gold guide, which, by the way, will of course be updated with the absolute best farms to do in the war within. So if you already have the gold guide, you just have to sit back and relax and wait for that updated version to hit your mailbox. And if you don't have the 0 to 10 million gold guide yet, you can grab it with the link down below, together with the VIP Discord, which big thank you for all the support in that lately. It means a lot to me. It's pretty much a way to support me as a content creator where you get to join a Discord server for VIPs, and like some of the benefits on the Discord server is being able to watch all my YouTube videos before they go public on YouTube. And you also get access to exclusive content such as investments, spreadsheets, gold tips, and much more. But you'll find it in the description below. Now, this is a farm that not a lot of people do because it's based in Wrath of the Lich King. And there's not a lot of people farming Wrath of the Lich King transmog because, frankly, most of it is pretty bad. It shares appearance with quest items, dungeon drops, etc. But there's still a couple of locations that's really good, and a couple of items from Wrath of Lich King that do extremely well because they are in fact unique appearance. Now, this location in the river right here at Conquest Hold, well, close to Conquest Hold, is great because you can do it as Horde and Alliance. If you're Alliance, you're obviously going to be killing the Horde mobs. If you're Horde, you'll obviously kill these Amber Pine Scouts. Now, the cool thing about this farm is not only that it hyper spawns and there's good density of mobs, but if you have a friend, or if you bring a friend or a guildie and they play the opposite faction, you can loot your own faction. So me playing Alliance, if I invited a guy that played Horde and he killed one of my Alliance mobs, I could loot his kill on the Alliance mob. So you get to loot every single mob. You cannot, of course, kill your own faction mob yourself, but you can still loot it after it's been killed by someone of the opposite faction, just making this gold farm go from being extremely good to absolutely insane. So, as you can see, when I'm running around here solo, there's always mobs to kill. They hyper spawn like crazy. Now, imagine having someone of the opposite faction kill as well, where you can loot twice as many mobs. And it's like every gold farm out there, as long as you're killing mobs in the open world, it's better to have people in your group because all loot is personal. So yes, this farm is best done as a 5-man, but you can, without question, easily do it solo and still get really good results. Now, when it comes to which items to keep, there's a couple of things you should take into consideration and a couple of things you should have before you do a farm like this. First of all, you should grab a loot appraiser together with TSM, because basically when you loot the mobs, the value of those items, depending on which loot source you pick, you can pick the min buyout, which is the price on your realm, and I would highly suggest you to pick the market value or region market value average, though, just to see what it goes for generally in your region. So you have that as a pop-up, and you shouldn't blindly trust that, because sometimes you get an item that says it has a market value of 80,000 gold, but if you take a closer look at the item, there's no reason for why it should sell for 80,000 gold, because it might share the same appearance as a lot of other items. So to filter that out, you should get the add-on All the Things, ATT. Basically, what it does is that if you look at an item like the one that I just got now, you can see a list of items that has the exact same appearance. So, for instance, this pair of male bracers has 1, 2, 3, 4 items with the exact same appearance, together with 3 shaman specific items. So even though it has a market value of 3.3k, you can also see the sell rate with TSM down here at 0.006, really low for a 3000 gold item. So I would not sell this on the auction house. So TSM, Loot Appraiser, and very important to have ATT to check and see if it shares appearances. Get those, and then figuring out which items are considered good enough to throw up on the auction house becomes a breeze. It really does as soon as you get into it, but that doesn't really take you that long. Now, keep in mind though that there's a lot of items that you will get here that shares an appearance with like 1 or 2 items, but those 1 or 2 items might be very difficult to get. It might be a BOP item from a specific quest chain, for instance, and in that case, you still want to post it, as long as it is the only one or the one of the few items in the game with that appearance that can be sold on the auction house. Always post it. So even if you get an item that shares appearance with the 3 other items, and if you look up those 3 other items and they're all from long quest chains, you should put it up on the auction house, because you're holding the only version of that appearance that can be sold on the auction house. And historically speaking, they still tend to sell really well. Now, that was pretty much it for today's video, but I do have a bunch of videos like this one, but also more steady income from materials and battle pets and you name it. Just make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and that way you'll be notified as soon as the next video drops. With that being said though, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.